is not to raise taxes on anybody. So with that, I yield back to Mr. Flores.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ryan. You know, the arguments that were put forth on the other side about what our plan is reminded me of the sequester arguments that we heard out of the White House. The air traffic control system is going to shut down. TSA is going to have long lines. You know, the only thing that did happen is we let some prisoners go and shut down the White House tours. And we heard about teacher layoffs. Well, in other words, we heard all this stuff, the sky is falling, and the sky hasn't fallen. We're hearing the sky is going to fall on our tax plan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ways and Means is working on a tax plan. So you don't have the facts to be able to say the sky is going to fall when you don't know what's in it. I mean, we don't know what's in it. We just know it's got two rates, and they're going to go forth and come up with a revenue proposal. Now, the ranking members talked about where does the $5 trillion come from. Well, let me suggest that pro-growth tax reform has been shown to produce more revenues. So perhaps part of that $5 trillion, is it true, will come from higher growth, more people getting more paychecks, a healthier, happier, wealthier middle class than hopefully we've ever had in this country before, is going to be the solution to this. Look, we agree with you. We shouldn't raise taxes on the middle class. We would go further and say we shouldn't raise taxes on anybody. We think everybody ought to pay their fair share. But we think that we ought to do it by a fair, flatter, simpler system that provides greater growth for the economy. So, again, the best thing we can do to turn the economy around is, and to ensure that everybody's paid their fair share, is to have pro-growth tax reform and greater economic growth. Our budget resolution calls for fundamental and comprehensive tax reform to broaden the tax base and lower tax rates into a simple two-bracket structure with a top rate of 25%. The rest of the details we're leaving to Ways and Means. These reforms would make the code fair for every American and allow for a decrease in tax rates that allows Americans to keep more of the money they earn and reduces disincentives for hard work and entrepreneurship. So with this, I'd like to yield about minutes to my friend, Mr. Ribble from Wisconsin.